Good morning, dear class 8 students. Dear students, let us continue this second chapter with the topic Socialism and Communism. So, the ideologies of the socialism and communism emerge as a critique of capitalism and the power of capitalists who exploited the working class. So, first of all, let us understand the meaning of socialism. The meaning of socialism is that it is an political idea which is based on the belief that the people of the country have the full right and authority or power to own or equally divide the property, money, and the wealth of the country equally. And the communism means that the state or the country has the only right or power to control over the factories, farms, and all the other economic activities. So here the ideology of the socialism and the communism emerged as a critique of capitalism and the power of capitalists who exploited the working classes. So here we could see that the capitalists who actually are the owner of the factories, and they exploited the working class in the factories. So Karl Marx, a German philosopher and the economist, was the earliest champion of workers' rights. So Karl Marx, one of the German philosopher, he wrote some thesis for the freedom and for the right of the working class or the employees or the workers who are working in different places. He, along with the Friedrich Engels, a political philosopher and the socialist leader, advocated a class society in which means of production would be collectively owned. So they emphasized much on that whatever things are available within the country, let that all things should be collectively owned by the people of the country, not by only the capitalists. So every individual of the country has a right to utilize the resources of the country, whether it is a natural resources or the human made resources. Now let us go to the imperialism. Imperialism is one of the most significant consequences of the Industrial Revolution. The growing industrializations in European countries could no longer be sustained within these countries. There were need for new territories which could serve as a source of cheap raw materials as well as market for mass product or produced goods. So imperialism means that the certain countries who, by showing the power of money, they started dominating the many more poor countries, and in this way they controlled the political, economical, and social background of the poor countries, and their imperialistic system, they exploited the poor nations and they looted a lot of raw materials for their benefit, for their own satisfaction. This led to the rise of imperialism, which implies that the policy of extending power and influence of an empire, kingdom, or country over another country. So, imperialism actually means the policy of extending power and influencing an empire, or to build up an empire, kingdom, or country over another country. So, as we talk about British, so British implemented the same policy, that is imperialistic policy, and then it dominated our country for so many years and looted our country and the people very badly when we were under the British control. Now here, by dismissing or controlling its government, so here in an imperialistic system, the outsider country govern a particular country, and the government of that particular country lost or loses all the rights to rule its own country. The imperialistic power usually occupies and control a territory by a military force. And how does a particular country extends its own empire? By using the military force. When the occupying force engage in the exploitation of resources of the occupied territory, imperialism then becomes colonialism, in which the controlling forces becomes the colonial power and controlled territories becomes the colony. During the 19th and the 20th century, like Britain, France, Netherlands, Italy, Germany, Spain, Portugal, and the later the USA and Japan were engaged in the scramble for the colony in Asia and African countries. So this was the paragraph telling us that during the 19th and 12th century, these many countries who dominated many more Asian and the African countries, and they ruled over them, and they looted all the resources and took away all the resources from Asian countries as well as the European countries. Now we have the reasons for the imperialism, why the imperialism system was developed or implemented. Economic reason. In the wake of massive industrializations, as the industries grew up, many more industries developed in many parts of the world. European government and their trading companies started looking for the markets for their finished product and supply a cheap raw materials. So when we talk about the economic reason, that the big countries, especially the European countries, they were looking for the new markets where they could sell their goods, factory made goods, and then where they could take the raw materials or cheap raw materials for their own factories. Trading companies such as East India Company tried developing trade relations with distant lands including Asia, Africa, and Latin America. So East India Company of England had opened so many bazaars, or we would call the market centers, in many parts of the different continents, which were rich in resources. This further resulted in the occupation of these lands by imperialistic countries of Europe like Dutch, Portuguese, France, and Britain. So these all European countries, they dominated Africa, Asia, and the Latin American countries by looting the resources from there. These powers often competed with each other for the resources market, and trade which led to many wars between them. But often we could see among the European countries, many times the war and battles took place. Why? In order to have the supremacy over the particular continent. Now exploratory reasons. Imperial nations of their citizens wanted to explore new territories. So the another reasons of the imperialism was that the European countries, they wanted to explore or discover many more new nations or territories, and sometimes they did this for the sense of adventures with hopes of finding riches in distant lands. So sometimes these all explorations or discoveries done, why? In order to get the new resources or the new raw materials from the other countries. So imperial explorer would either do it for national and personal glory or to serve the imperialists' goal of economic and territorial expansion. So these all explorations or discoveries are done in order to grow up economically or to develop the growth of economy, and also to capture many more territories and countries and build up the empire. Now we have the white man's burden. So here it says that imperial nations believed that their culture, values, or belief were superior to other nations or group. So the ruling countries, they always showed that their culture, their traditions, or their lifestyles were much more better and superior to the culture and traditions of the other nations. Especially, and this belief we could see among the white people or the foreigners. They believed that their sophisticated and superior culture would improve the life of the backward and the inferior people of the colonial and civilize them. So these all white people or the foreigner people, British people, they often said that their cultures are superior. So when they will be step into new nations, then they could develop their own culture and improve the lifestyle of the people over there who are in that particular poor nation. So dear students, we have you have video up to this point only, so you go through with the point and then understand it. Thank you.